What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is a great day. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We were worried that we weren't gonna get a white Christmas. That's the farm behind our house. And this is the driveway. Oh man, this is the greatest. I love the snow so much. So yes, it's Christmas. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Whatever you celebrate, hope you're having a great day. I mean, we got to make the best of what we got. I mean, of course, it's not the greatest situation, but I mean, this video is not about negativity. It's all about just, you know, happiness and joy and beautiful cars. So today we're going to be working on something very important. I've been thinking about how I'm going to do this for a long time, but luckily I got some great people to help me out. I got a buddy named Chris. He's been helping me along the process on how to plan this out, and then along with actually making the pieces that I need to make this work. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So my buddy Chris made me these blocks. He basically cut out these solid steel blocks and then drilled and tapped them so that these bolts that I have would thread in perfectly. And I got one on each side. So if you haven't already seen the videos from before, there's already two bolts that were bolted in from the subframe into the car, and then I had to figure out the other two main bolts. So that's what we're working on today. So as you can see right here, that bolt's already done on both sides. Now we're going to be working on the front one. And since it's Christmas and this year no one's really going to be doing some gift exchanges, I figured I'll just get myself some new tools, toys, whatever you want to call them. I like to spend money on myself. I mean, what can I say? I got extension cord and some magnets for welding. So we're gonna go put those to good use today. All right, so I'm in the process of editing right now, and I don't know where the clip went, but there was a clip supposed to be of me showing underneath the car where when I was cutting the pinch welds, my blade actually kind of went up on an angle, and I cut a portion of the subframe out, or sorry, the frame of the car. So this clip is actually me just showing how I repaired that and how I went about cutting the piece and getting it ready for that. So a little bit of context, but anyways, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So all I did was I made a template of that hole that I cut out from underneath the subframe, put it on here, made my mark, and I'm gonna cut this piece out, and I'm gonna take it over there and weld it. Okay, so I just did a little bit of welding, and keep in mind, I don't have much welding experience, as you may be able to tell, but I quickly realized that I couldn't actually see how good I was doing through the mask, and my settings were off. This is my first time welding with this new setup at my house, and I think I wasn't welding hot enough. So what I gotta do is mess with the settings a little bit. I increased it just a little bit. I think it's gonna burn better. I wasn't getting that good of a penetration. So I'm gonna try that again. Thank God I got grinders, so I'll be able to fix what I've been doing. But yeah, so far it's working out pretty good. That piece that I made fit perfectly, and once I get that done, then I can move along with welding the pinch welds back up, and then we can get these blocks on. So now that I got this tacked in place, I'm going to weld it solid. So I'm going to weld beads all the way around here, and then I'm going to run some supports along the sides from here over to the frame on both sides, and then I'm going to box them in just to add some more strength. And now that you get the idea of how I'm making these templates, I don't think you guys want to see me make every version of every single side that I'm going to be doing. We are going to skip right to the part where I have all the templates made, and then we're going to be ready to transfer those to the metal and then start cutting some metal. Alright, well, I got most of it done. I didn't get the parts underneath done yet because the subframe is still in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these all figured out, and I'm going to cut these all out of metal. I'm going to transfer all these over to the metal and cut that out. And I'm going to start welding those pieces in, and then the subframe will come out, and then I'll have space to work from underneath, and then I can finish it from all sides. But I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so now I got all my pieces cut. What I realize now, once I took those templates off, I should have marked where I need to grind away the paint. But that's okay. As I'm test fitting those pieces, I can mark with a marker really quickly where I need to do it. But I'm sure I'm going to have to trim these up a little bit because it's never going to be perfect. But I have roughly what I need. I'm going to start fitting them where they need to go, and I might start welding them in. Okay, so I ground the paint off where I got to weld those pieces onto the frame. But while I was test fitting all those pieces that I just cut, I realized the big pieces are pretty good, but the small pieces that go on top, I got to trim them up a little bit. And it's kind of hard to mock it all up the way that it's going. So I think the best way for me to do it is take the big pieces and tack them in place, and then I can play with the small pieces much easier without moving everything else. Because the big pieces seem to be working fine, and I can always adjust the smaller pieces much easier than the bigger ones. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and doing. I'm going to start tacking those in right now. Alright guys, well, I've got both of these supports welded in. Well, they're just tacked in right now. They're not welded solid, but I'm pretty happy. I mean, I made some good progress here. Now that I have it at this point, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the subframe and get it totally out of the way. That way I can work on making the bottom plates for these supports from underneath, because right now the subframe is in the way. And when I do that, then I'll have both of these fully tacked in, and then once that's done, I'll have all the space in the world, and then I can weld these in solid. And these will be done. And what that means is once those two are done, then I can start working on the rear bolt, which is the 5th and 6th bolt, to finally get the subframe fully bolted in. And then we can put the car back on the wheels. We got to put the springs in the subframe first, and then we got to do the struts again. But then the whole front end will be done. It'll be figured out, minus the cleanup and blasting and powder coating and all that stuff. it'll be all squared away. It'll all be bolted in and it'll be done. For now, guys, I'm pretty happy with what we've done today and yesterday, so I think I'm gonna just leave it at that. Next week, we'll be taking care of what I just talked about. And again, guys, like the video, please. I mean, you guys don't realize, like, I probably condensed this video into like 10 minutes maybe. It's over the course of a few hours each day, so I'm probably looking at like 6 to 8 hours just doing this, which obviously is not extremely fast and efficient, but this is my first time doing stuff like this. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is I put a lot of time into this, and I'm trying to stay consistent, putting videos up once a week, which is forcing me to get productive on this thing as well. So I'm putting in some time. The least you guys can do is just leave me a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, it'll help me out a bunch, and it'll motivate me to keep going on this thing. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.